play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
You play to win the game.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
You are now locked in to the Clock Dodgers podcast.
What up, my Clock Dodger family? What up? It's your boy Neil. This is our 5th episode this week. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. Today, I just want to talk to you guys, right? We're not even going to cover a player today, a team today, not even a strategy necessarily. What I want to talk about is as we close this week out, as we go into the weekend, and then, the new week starts again on Monday, just don't allow your losses in life, and that could be from any perspective, right? Fantasy football, career, relationships, money, financial situations, whatever it is. Don't allow your losses to discourage your hunger, your ambition, your pride, your pursuit of anything. I took a lot of losses this week. Obviously not fantasy football related, just some knockdowns. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to get concerned about, nothing to be worried about. I don't take those kind of things hard. I take them in stride. They're a motivator for me. If someone tells me I can't do something, that motivates me. If somebody tells me, they think I'm worth, less than, that motivates me. If, somebody doesn't see my vision, that motivates me. So anytime you take these losses, and if we compare it to fantasy football, some seasons you have great seasons, right? You win multiple championships, you go crazy, right? Some years you win one, maybe, across the board, depending on how many leagues you got. Sometimes you win none. It's just the way it works. It doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean you suck. It doesn't mean what you're doing is wrong. It just means this wasn't your year. This wasn't your season, per se. Listen, when it comes to something like fantasy football, you got to take all the advice you can, do all the research you can, open a wide array of information. Don't limit yourself to just one thing. We see this argument all the time, film or data, and all these kind of conversations, they get swirled around nonstop. It's actually it's nauseous at this point to even see it. But don't let anything drive you away from something or put fear in you. I know in a lot of cases it's natural for us to, react initially with fear and anything, go worst case scenario, but don't let it happen to you. And so if we take it away from fantasy football for a second, just life in general, if you've taken any L's already this year, if, you've taken some beatings, you took a hard fall, anything at all, like I said, financially, career-wise, you're playing the stock markets right now like everybody else, or Bitcoin, whatever it is. If something's not happening as quickly as you thought it was, as quickly as you had planned for it to be, listen, man, that's life. That's the beauty of life. Let's be honest. That's the beauty. Let that shit drive you. Let that shit dig deep inside your soul. Find out who you are. You know what I mean? That's where we find out when people, that's how we find out who we are as a person, when we're battle tested, the everyday life, what it does to us. Life is crazy right now, man. There's a lot of information going around. There's a lot of things happening. A lot of people feel stuck in their houses, and, quarantines and pandemics and all kinds of, situations occurring. And so, man, we got a lot of things happening right now, and yeah, part of that is COVID and everything that's going on. Part of it is politics. Part of it is, it's a lot of different things, but whatever you do not let this shit get you down. Do not take that L, that loss, and wear that shit around like it's you. It ain't who you are. Again, bring it back to fantasy football. Bring it back to sports. People lose every day, man. Someone's got to lose. That's just the way it goes. You just have to make sure that when you take that loss, you grow from it. Even in fantasy, when we take a loss or we have a down season, whatever it is, we gotta go, what can I change? How can I approach this differently? Is it just more work that I need to do? Is it I need to open my eyes and ears to more people and different sites and information? Is it, just my turn to do a 180 and try something different? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Whatever it is, don't let that stuff, don't let that shit wear on you. And I see a lot of people, all of us, we all get focused on the wrong things and the wrong, we make the wrong things important. Just go out there and win every day. Be the best person you can, from the day you were before. Just do one little thing better. You know what I mean? I have to remind myself of these things all the time. Obviously, when you're a content creator, a podcaster, you're running all these different things and you're trying to, meet certain levels and meet certain goals. It's just another, ball to juggle. And if you can get caught up in that game real quick, you can get caught up in that game. And it's not the headspace you want to be in. Ultimately, put this last fantasy year behind you. If you had a rough one, if you had a good one, hey, don't get stagnant. If you did put up some wins, you got some championships, you put some extra money in your bank account, your PayPal account, don't stay the same. You got to evolve. Every year you got to evolve, every season. Again, I know a lot of people go, man, there's so many articles to read. Man, podcasts is so oversaturated in the market. Man, there's so much different apps I could download and buy and memberships. Bro, if you can afford to take all that information in and you can afford to buy all those services, there's nothing wrong with doing it. Information is power. Knowledge is power. You don't have to apply all of it. You don't have to use all of it. But even if it just gives you an idea of what everybody else is thinking about, what other people in your league may be thinking about and how they may be making moves, you don't have to worry about what that person thinks of a player because you already know what the community thinks of the player or what certain sites are thinking about on the player or certain podcasts are thinking about on that player. If you just consume all of it, you get a general idea. You get a general market sense of that player and that situation. So as we close out this week, guys, this is just a quick banger episode. I just wanted to put this thought in our heads, plant that seed for myself. You guys know how I always do this, man. A lot of these, conversations are not just for those listening, but for me to remind myself. And I find that when I speak these things out loud and when I have these conversations with you guys, that not only am I connecting with you guys and, we're getting on that same wavelength, but for my own self-being, self-awareness, self-improvement, self-motivation. We all need this. I consume so many podcasts for this kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? So I just try to pay it forward. Shout out to everybody who interacts with Clock Dodgers and me on a daily basis on group chats, on Twitter, on Instagram, through the email, through the website, whatever you're reaching out to us. I truly appreciate it. This week has been great, despite its downfalls, despite the L's that I was handed. It was great. It was still a great week because it just refocused me. You know what I mean? When things like that happen, you gotta get refocused. You gotta go, damn, that opened my eyes to something. I just gotta figure out now, what do I do? How do I navigate this? What's my next move? I can't, how do I prevent things like this moving forward? And that happens in fantasy all the time for me too. Make a bad play on a guy, just picking, trusting a guy for too long or bailing on him too early, making a bad trade, drafting, in a bad way, not doing well in a draft or first few picks, or you choosing my sleepers bad, in the draft, spending my fab budget incorrectly, all kinds of dynasty stuff. There's just, even let's just look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a second, right? A lot of people are down on CEH. A lot of people right now feel like, the Chiefs could draft a running back or they could add a running back. He struggled this year, in some aspects. And even though he's on the best offense in the league, there's still those concerns. And so for someone like me, I spent a lot of, capital in rookie drafts on someone like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So now I go, hey, do I stick with him? Do I trust what I thought previously? Do I trust what I've seen previously? Remember the last episode? I talked about this. Stay in the moment. Don't stay too heavy in the past and don't get too far ahead in the future, right? So I have to this Clyde Edwards-Helaire is one of my biggest, question marks heading into the offseason for Dynasty. Do I try to trade him to someone who's still, nuts about him? Am I still nuts about him? These are things I got to do. I don't care what I was and what he was. Where am I at right now? Where are we at right now with this? So that's gonna be one of my biggest challenges this offseason is what do I do with certain players that either I, put a lot of draft capital into, I traded and gave up a lot. Do I give up on them now? Do I continue to, that's something we'll discuss as this offseason carries on, as we have guests on the show, as we're doing these things. We're going to get into guys like this. We're going to dig super deep. into a lot of stuff here, guys. So let's look forward to that. But let's ease into the weekend, recharge, refresh, get our heads right. Monday's gonna be a big day for us all. Monday is the day we're gonna get some shit accomplished. You know what I mean? Look at it that way. You took some L's this week. I took some L's this week. We all took some L's. What do you do with it though? Do you get extra motivated? Some people say, I don't get motivated by, proving other people wrong. I don't get motivated by others. Like I don't care what, my success does to others. If it makes them mad or they get jealous or, I make them angry because they didn't want me to win. I get motivated by that shit. I ain't gonna sit here and deny it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to see me win, I'm motivated by that. I'm gonna make you see it. That's how I feel. So yeah, it's not the only motivation, but for sure it's a motivator. So let's go into the weekend. You guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe. It's rough and crazy out there. Do your best to protect yourself and others. But get in the right headspace. I know, mental health is a real thing, and just take care of yourself and don't let these L's beat you up. Don't let this, crazy life we're living right now beat you up. It's not going to be like this forever. So, stay motivated, get better every day. We got to do better. Every day be better than you were yesterday. I look forward to connecting with you guys again on Monday. We have some fun stuff in store. You're going to hear some familiar voices on here soon. We're going to have some in-depth conversations. I hope you got your notebooks ready, a fresh new notebook for the new season, because it's going to be a lot of advice, a lot of big things happening. So stay tuned. Thank you as always for subscribing, for leaving reviews. You guys who stick through, or who come aboard even in the off season, we appreciate you greatly. I can't thank you guys enough. So continue to stay great. As always, guys, be kind, be great, keep dodging.